I guess we're Bryda now.
Satya failed in the Gorian desert.
Yep, you're just reading stuff.
Bryda. Bryda!
She can't hear us, we're
She
stone.
had the mask, and she knew the name of the Djinn of Time.
Oh well.
Garon? Garon, can you hear me? I think I've solved the riddle. It's a little complicated. There are so many little pieces. There's only one thing missing. And then we can finally complete the story. Then I'll ask the staff to change you back. I promise. Can you do me one more favor first? Satya's ruby has a crack. You need to repair it. Can you do that for me? Please, Garon. Repair the ruby.
Might as well.
Thank you. And now let me try something. I pray to the gods that I'm not mistaken. Vedan fascadan, esplas de quatan, humurilor gras, ferrogoran, hir bemutir gerol falan, yuntir quatan feluntir sodan. Garon? Are you still there? If so, then you should be able to cast the staff's first spell. Please give me a sign that it worked.
Here we go. Here comes the next spell growing on our inventory.
I was right. Thank you. Thank you, Garon. Oh, you're probably wondering where you are. The staff created this place, a burial chamber of a mogul in the middle of the Andergastrian forest. Isn't that impressive?
Leave the mask and come to me.
He's here. I'll be right back.
Bryda. Bryda! And I get left behind again. Nuri.
Well, it's time to use the Send Vision spell, which has been added. Let me see, where is the Neri
I'll
necklace?
try to send Nuri a vision.
Okay. We are going to choose the mountaintop, the river, and the campfire.
That's it! I'll send Nuri to the mountain, and then along the course of the brook, until she reaches the fire. I hope it works.
That was fast.
Thank the gods. I'm starting to remember something.
Another spell.
I know how I can transform myself back.
Noted. Well, let's see here. Did I just depetrify myself now?
Alright, here we go. No, no, I'm too weak. The mask doesn't have enough power left to change me back. It was all for nothing.
Ah, shut up. There's another vision we can send. Now she's on screen to actually show when we select something. I wonder where, or if anywhere, it was animating for the time when Nuri wasn't on screen. Anyway, here on Nuri and the power accumulator. AKA, bring me that. That should be enough power to get us back. How do you like that?
Oh, finally. Fi, is everything alright?
Oh, yes. My stiff old bones haven't felt this young in ages.
No sarcasm, man.
Thanks, Nuri.
Who are you?
That doesn't matter now. Will you promise to wait for me here?
All right.
I'll be right back.
Into the chamber we go. I guess we'll let him walk. No need to double click. We're almost at the end.
It's been 450 years since I, a talking staff with no memories, kindled the light in my prison and saw a strange woman who would change my life forever. Her story began in this chamber, and between these walls we will end it together. Merhaba, Geron. Welcome.
You were able to free yourself.
What does all this mean? Where are we?
Ask him.
Indeed. Ask me. You should know that I've waited a long time for this day, and would not like to wait much longer. But if you have a great many questions...
What's going to happen here?
So you still haven't figured out why I sent you my memories? Why you're here?
Well, let's go ahead and keep it short.
Nuri is waiting for a transformation outside the chamber, so hurry up. You've lost Sadia and want to know what happened to her. That's why you sent us your memories. You want us to find out for you, right?
Right. 400 years after our separation, I finally found a way out of the Gorian desert. I followed her trail back to Draconia. I found the Adept's journal and the Djinn of Times' mask. But Sadia's real fate remained a mystery to me. Finally, I met Fahi and asked him to bring me here. A man named Ulrich had taken her ruby from Draconia and brought it to Andergast. He sought the mask in order to bring back his deceased wife, but he found only the gemstone. I wanted to bring together all the relics surrounding Sadia's disappearance and finally understand what happened to her. At least I would know what happened to her. She deserved that.
Does it matter how she died? She's dead. We can't change that.
You're wrong. You will determine what happened to her.
I don't understand.
The Garden of Oblivion, Geron. I read the journal to the end. After her return, Sadia went into the Garden of Oblivion and never came out again. Nothing that happens in the garden has actually happened until someone talks about it. Outside the garden.
And since Sadia has been forgotten since that day, her fate has never been told, and thus never completed.
I see.
I see.
If we tell the end of Sadia's adventures in the garden, then the story becomes true.
And if we're mistaken,
Satanav's invisible hand will punish us for our sacrilege.
I think I've explained enough about our wondrous meeting.
Are you ready, Geron?
Just a moment.
We can talk about a few things.
What about the inscription on the burial chamber?
You mean the stone and the scarab? Fahi believes that the inscription is the key to everything. But as apt as his intuition may be, in this case he's mistaken. The riddle is apparently only a strange jotting on the margins, a random blemish on an otherwise monumental painting. There's nothing else to say about it. Sadia was taken to the burial chamber to read trivial inscriptions, and as proud as she was, she refused, that's all.
Alright.
At the waterfall, you promised to change Nuri back to her old form.
And I will, but first, we must complete Sadia's story.
Alright.
What's Fahi's role in all this?
Fahi is a man of many talents. He has a feeling for tales, and he's good at solving riddles. In addition, he had a wagon and a tent in which I could hide on my long journey. He is helping me solve the riddle, and in return, I protect his business from looters. That is our agreement.
So he's actually harmless.
Fahi is the most harmless man I've ever met in my 3,000 years. I was sorry to petrify him, but it was the only way to save him from your fellow citizens.
Why are you here, Brider? Sadia's story doesn't have anything to do with you.
Geron, there's nothing left for me here. I'm a deserter. My own comrades are hunting me. This is my only refuge. Please, even if you still don't understand, let me bring it to an end.
I'm sure everything will be fine again.
The world will never be as fine as it once was.
One more thing.
What if one of us ends Sadia's story and is wrong?
If Satinav learns that the tale we tell can't possibly be true, then he'll make it unhappen and declare the teller guilty of sacrilege.
Don't worry, Geron. We won't make a mistake. I've thought everything through very carefully.
All right.
Then put the mask on the bust of my old master and let us begin.
Away we go. First things first, actually. We're gonna save. Save! And we'll go ahead and... yeah, we'll overwrite this one. Yep, that's fair. There we go. Now, back to business.
Thank you, Geron. Are you ready now?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's get this over with.
Thank you, Garon.
Which of you will now step forward and tell the story to its end?
We're gonna go ahead and do it.
I'll do it.
Very well. I'll now tell you of Sadya's passage into the garden. As it is written in the Adept's journal, listen closely. At the end, you must tell me how the story ends. After her return from the battlefield, Sadya was only a shadow of herself. She had seen the horrors of the Nether Hells, an ocean of destruction and death. She was the only survivor, but the rest of the world did not care. Sadya's great dream had failed. She wandered the halls of Draconia like a ghost. She didn't eat, and she only slept when exhaustion forced her to. On the 4th day, a young adept saw her at the threshold to the portal. He asked her where she was going. It was cold in the mountains, and she could have become lost, whereupon she answered,
I'm going to the garden to break my being.
The boy immediately ran to the air adept, but help arrived too late. When they entered the garden, all that they found was the mask and Sadya's ruby next to it. There was no sign of her. Out of fear of challenging Satinath, it was decided that they would forget the incident. No one was allowed to speculate about what had happened on that day. The mask and the ruby were taken to Draconia. The garden was sealed, and Sadya's fate was forgotten. Until today. It's now up to you, Garon, to finish her story. But remember, one mistake, and the consequences will be terrible.
I know. Sadya entered the garden.
Let's see. I actually don't know what the right answer is. Oh boy. Let's go ahead. And what do I say? I actually don't remember the answer. Here we go. She sat down
She sat on the ground.
and looked into the mask.
She looked into the mask and...
Let's see here. Oh no, I can't read it again. No. And read the spell.
And...
She read the magic spell, memorized it, put on the mask, and destroyed her memory.
Why did you interrupt me?
I was afraid you would say the wrong thing. Then she disappeared into the depths of the garden like a soulless waif and was never seen again.
It is done. I had always hoped it would be otherwise. But I was mistaken.
Are you crying?
Of course I'm crying. My princess just died.
Oh, well... I guess that's it then. That was the end just now, wasn't it?
Yes.
No. Since Sadya used the mask, her memories are now in the mask, and thus the true name of the Djinn of Time.
What are you doing?
Fadan feskadan esplastequatan, humurilor gras ferel goran, hil bemotir kerul felan, juntir katan filontir sodan. Nijetime ta for imano ilti veda.
Ah, I've been awakened.
The Djinn of Time.
Tell me, child, what is your wish?
I'm sorry, Garon, but there's nothing left for me in this time. As if there had ever been anything for me here. There are no heroic princesses, no ancient tombs, no flying fortresses. Only endless honor guards, latrine duty, one triviality after another. When was the golden age lost? When princesses still dreamed of battles and the world was filled with magic. I wish it was all as it used to be.
Your wish is my command.
Bryda.
The girl is now gone. Her longing now rules over her existence. It is my task to fulfill that longing. to extinguish the grey present and bring the past to life again.
Yay for spooky black stuff.
Oh no. The forest is starting to change. What did she do?
Garon, come quickly.
Coming! If I can, thank you.
Garon, I've been thinking.
That's nice, but it won't help us any. Bryda told Sadia's story to the end. She had Sadia put on the mask and draw out all her memories in the Garden of Oblivion, so that everything has now happened exactly like that. And she read out Sadia's memories with the ruby. I mean, Bryda did that. And now she's possessed by the Djinn of Time. And
Calm yourself, Garon.
I'm supposed to calm down? We have to do something!
You're right, and we can only do something if we prove that Bryda was wrong, that Sadia did not put on the mask. You forget that there's still a part of the riddle we have not solved.
The scarab? As if a pointless riddle could save us all.
Do you have a better idea? Look around. We're in a copy of the burial chamber. Perhaps you'll find the crucial clue somewhere. Bring it to me, and perhaps we can solve the riddle once and for all.
Okay. We can listen. Haha, listening.
All I can hear is the crackle of the fire.
Alright. Ah, there's something right here. It's a ruby. Nice. Well, this ruby is the only clue we have to go on, so... Clue, Fahi, clue!
All I found was the ruby.
Give it to me. Giacomo Nauta told me you were an amateur mage. Is that true?
Yeah, I can break things.
Well, I can also do a bit of magic. If I hold something in my hand, I can catch a glimpse of its past. That was the main reason the staff chose me as his companion, you see. Now, let's see what story this stone tells. Curious. When the ruby was found after Sadia's disappearance in the garden, it had a crack, and the reversal spell the Ore Adept had woven into it had vanished utterly. The mages had to reapply it completely. But there's more. I see a palace garden, and in it, 2 children.
This is a brooch from Mengbilla. My father gave it to me.
Oh, can I see?
There. And here, a ruby from the dwarf tunnels in the brazen sword.
It's so beautiful.
When I'm Caliph, I'll have all the treasures in Avestan gathered in my palace. Fazar will be more radiant than in the times of the great Moguls. My subjects will lie at my feet for all eternity.
You'll be a good ruler, Cassim. All the
Ha
history
ha
books will tell
ha!
you.
Ha! Do you see the sign on my arm? It's the calligraphy of my sovereignty, the sign of my dynasty. The whole world will bow before this symbol. There are great times ahead of us, Sadia. Truly great times.
I see a prince and a princess playing together. He's trying to impress her. What could this mean?
They were siblings. Aha!
So Sadia and the prince really were siblings?
Wait. There's more. Something's happening. A palace guard arrives.
Let me go.
You're so pathetic. Isn't that how you like to be treated? Like the dog that you are.
At least I have my own teeth.
You please me, Sadia, more than I had hoped.
The prince is tormenting the princess. The guard holds her tight. She's at his mercy. But why?
Let's use the one with the big word.
Maybe there was no reason, and she was punished unjustly.
They finally let her go. She remains alone in the courtyard.
Really? What are you doing? Are you tattooing yourself?
I'm writing my own dynasty.
Do you even know what the word means? Dynasty? You can't simply write greatness into your blood. You're either born with it or not.
I'll prove it to you.
Do you think you could ever be greater than I? You're amusing. Guards! Throw her back into the gutter where you found her. I'm done having my fun with her. Then fetch me a new girl.
Sadia wasn't a princess at all. She was only a poor girl from the streets.
So what?
I don't know, but...
What's so funny?
Don't you understand? The solution to the riddle. Sadia's words outside the burial chamber. It was so obvious all along.
I get it.
Oh.
We were fooling ourselves. Now, go into the burial chamber and tell it to the djinn. Then everything will be all right again.
Okay. I suppose we can't just read this now.
Is that the inscription from Fahi's dreams? How can a single insignificant riddle be that important?
Who knows? Who cares? Back here!
Ryder, or whoever you are, come out.
Why do you obstruct her wish? She's unhappy. She wishes to be back in a time where everything was still good. You, of all people, should understand that. But it no longer matters what you think. The ritual is almost complete. A new ancient kingdom will grow from the oak wood.
Not if I can prove that Bryda was wrong. And she was indeed wrong.
Sadia went into the garden, she took the mask, and she spoke the incantation. So did it happen, and so shall it remain.
It will. Listen, let me start at the beginning. Sadia entered the garden, she sat down and pulled out the mask.
Yes.
She looked into the mask.
And read the spell.
And read the magic spell.
Whereupon everything happened as Bryda already said.
Wait, I was mistaken. Sadia looked into the mask.
And let's see here. And
spoke your name.
No. If she had awakened me, I would know about it. She didn't want my power. She wanted to destroy herself. That's why she read the incantation. And everything happened as it now is.
Wait, she looked into the mask?
It's nice that they gave you multiple tries.
And despaired in herself and her inability.
Why should she despair? She had my promise of blessed oblivion. All she had to do was read the incantation.
No.
You couldn't read.
I'm sorry, Bryda, but Sadia wasn't as brilliant as you think. She felt persecuted and restless. She wanted to forget her own past and become someone else. She wasn't a princess, just a poor girl from the streets. And as such, she couldn't even read.
No.
Forgive me, Bryda.
That's that then. The riddle is finally solved. Why such a long face, Charon?
Yes, my friend? What plagues you so?
Nothing. Why are you so happy anyway? Sadia's fate proved to be false. You don't know any more now than you did before.
Very true. Very true. But perhaps not.
Oh, forget it. I'm sick of riddles.
Yes. Leave the dear boy in peace, Aleph. Fulfill his wish, and let's move on.
Yes, traveling is nice.
I want to go to the sea.
Wait just a moment.
It's up to you, my friend. Do you want me to change her back? But I can only restore her body, not her memories.
On the first time I played the game through, I chose to change her back, and yeah, she turns back to normal, and then it ends happily with Giron trying to remind her of everything that happened. But I would like to see what happens if, I guess I could save in case I won't change my mind and want to do this again in a different way. Thank you. But I'm going to choose leave her as she is.
Leave her. Her new life as a raven seems to make her happy.
So be it.
And thus our time together is at an end.
Can I leave now too? I want to fly over the ocean.
Don't leave just yet. It's hard for me, but if you want to leave, then you can.
You still haven't told me who you are.
My name is Geron.
Hello, Geron. I am the raven Nuri Dalinella Vanda, but you can call me Nuri.
Even if you've forgotten a lot, if you ever get tired of your travels, you'll always find a home with me.
That's nice. It is lovely to meet you, Geron.
Likewise. Farewell, Nuri.
See you later.
And thus ends the tale. Did you know that it would come to this? Oh, how can I know what you planned? And what was mere fortune? Until today, I would have sworn that the mask destroyed you. But that can't be. We know that now. Now, just so I don't make a mistake, there are only two possibilities as to what could have happened to you back then. The first, the more likely, has now proven to be false, which leaves only the second. I mustn't make a mistake. Here we go. When Sadia entered the garden, she had the mask with her, but no ruby. Yet, when the mask was found, there was a ruby beside it. Now, it may be that it was Sadia's ruby that was thrown into the garden earlier by the prince, but what if it was another? Oh dear. Oh dear. There's no going back now. Satinav! I say that there was not one, but two rubies. The real one was lost. The fake was taken from the garden by the mages and is now here in my hand. Sadia couldn't read, but with my mask she could do magic. She could turn plants to stone. She could turn people to stone. What is a ruby, if not just another stone? There. And now to you, my dear. You descended into the deepest tombs, and you climbed the highest mountains. You danced with wind spirits and wrestled with demons. Abandoned by the gods, forgotten by time. Shahrazad, your time has finally come.
Can you believe that was a Daedalic Entertainment game? Everyone who's all bashing them for the Lord of the Rings Gollum disaster had no idea that this used to be a great company that made great point-and-click adventure games. I played many of them. This one, Night of the Rabbit. I think A New Beginning is also them. And I very much enjoy them. I think I have Deponia still in my Steam library that I've not tried yet. But I've enjoyed all of the games I've played by them. And yeah, I would definitely play more of the older games. I will never in 100 years touch the Lord of the Rings one. Because that game is a disaster and a half, and then some. So I will spare myself the misery of playing that. But yeah, that was Memoria. For those who want a more complete version of the story, yeah, you can go play the first game to connect some more dots in terms of how Garon's story goes and Nuri. I don't believe there's anything more to learn about Sadia in the first game. I've not played it though, so I could be wrong. But yeah. I had a feeling before I started this recording session that I would need to look at the schedule to find out what game comes next. Because I had a sneaking suspicion that we might finish today and I might need to prepare to foreshadow. Correct, I was. Which, the next game, speaking of which, it's gonna be kind of like Sea of Lies, where I'm doing like a redux / remaster of my original Let's Play for it, except unlike a Sea of Lies where I just replayed the original game again, I'll actually be tackling the remaster of this wonderful game I played for the first time over 10 years ago. Or maybe just 10. And loved. And replayed many, many times afterwards. Actually, let me, real quick. Just in case, I forget if this game dumps me to the desktop or not, so I just want to be safe and make sure I split the recording. Okay, good, it's the main menu. You never can be too sure. But yeah, that's a remastered game of a game you wouldn't really expect me to play, considering what it is, which you'll find out about soon enough. But for now, that does it for Memoria. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe for more. And I will see you next time.